It's Amy with Amy's Garden Tips and Thoughts. I'm going to change it, I don't know. But I had promised you all a little video of my garden. It's fairly young, it's only 2.5 years old, so I just kind of wanted to let you look. I'll do the front yard this time because it is raining on this Wednesday afternoon and I wanted to not get too terribly wet. So I will show you what's growing in my garden. So hold on and I'll take you on a little trip. Okay, this is my side border that runs along the side of my driveway. Hopefully you may have one of these little spots that you just don't like to mow. So I'll kind of tell you what I've got in here. It's pretty early, it's at the end of April. But if you look down here, this is red hot poker. That comes up every year. Hopefully it'll bloom for us this year. It should be in the second year or third year that it's been in. Below that, you'll see I've got some hens and chicks. Looks like they're kind of starting to leaf out a little bit. We had a little frost a couple weeks ago, so they got nipped a little bit. You will see lots of little weeds. I have not weeded my garden yet fully this year. Back in the back there are the pansies I planted last fall. I like planting those in the fall because they look so much better than in the springtime, and I'm such a late planter. I would never plant them till May. After May, they just tend to burn up in our summer, so it kind of defeats the purpose of planting them. But in that little pile there is sweet black-eyed Susan that will bloom here about June or July. I've got a mess of daylilies that really should bloom out well this year. I got those from a friend of mine, Joni House Webb. She's a fantastic gardener with her husband Ed. Those little ferny bits, can you all see those? Ooh, yeah. That is Love in the Mist, and that is one of the annuals that I have planted in my garden that kind of just fill in every little nook and cranny. I'll show you a little bit up in the front of the house. There's some really good parts of that. There's some more pansies. I have a lot of natives in my front flower bed. This is the sunniest location I have. And that is Missouri Primrose, which will bloom here in about middle of May. Looking pretty good. I've got some Russian sage in the back. That little tiny plant, it's going to take forever for that to grow. We started that really, really small. It was pretty much a stick. Here's a yellow Baptisia that's about ready to leaf out again. It looks so pretty in this garden. It gets huge though. It gets about 3 or 4 feet. Next to that, oops, down at the bottom, that's balloon flower. That's going to get about 2 feet tall and have these really purple fluff balloon type flowers that pop open for it. It's really pretty. I'll have to show you pictures of it later. Got a lot of iris in the bed. That iris right there about ready to bloom is called Churchill Downs that I got from the Western Kentucky Research Farm in Princeton. We've got some more black red hot pokers, a little bit of sedums. That's a white sedum that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. I've got one of those little natives that I could not think of the name of way back in the back. Oops. See if I can get you a photo of that. There it is. It's just starting to peek its head out. And if I remember, I'll put it on the list. More red hot poker. I really love that. This is the Rocky Top coneflower, purple coneflower, Tennessee coneflower. More violets. This is blue Baptisia, which is about, looks like it's going to flower. This one always flowers for our plant fair, which is canceled this year. Kind of upset. We've got peonies. I believe that one is Rachel. Some more balloon flowers. And I love fleabane. I know people call it a weed, but to me it's just one of those plants that I have to have, and I just leave it till it flowers and then I pull it up. And I must have missed some seeds in there because they started reseeding a lot this year. This blue flower, which is really pretty, is Asmonia. Arkansas, it's Asmonia. I'll have to figure out what the common name is. That's a third year for that, so it's going to be nice and bushy this year. Back behind the fleabane is Helenium. That one's called Mariachi Fuego. It's a really pretty Helenium. Sneezeweed. I knew I'd get the name out of there somewhere. Oh, and my little Joe pie weeds are just starting to come up. Can you see them? Right there. Right there. So they like a little bit wetter part, and they're right here by the drain. So they get a little bit more moisture. Got some more balloon flower. Apparently I really caught on to that. Here's another peony. I think that one is, oh, it's not Rachel, it's the other one. It's a light pink one. And you can hear the rain on the carport. This one is Black-Eyed Susan. This is also Sweet Black-Eyed Susans, which is going to grow up and bloom about June usually. I can't remember what, oh, I know what I planted there, and it's not up yet. I hope it comes back. That was a pink bellflower. Haven't seen it yet, so hopefully it's coming back. Not sure what this yellow weed is, but I kind of liked it, so I just left it. I'm sure somebody's going to tell me what the name of that one is. One of my favorites is Columbine. I love Columbine, and that's one I'm going to let seed through throughout the garden, just like I do with the Love in the Mist. Oh, there's the pink bellflower starting to come up, and look, if I see here's the tag. Ooh, oh, this is bee balm. Apparently I did. This is coral reef bee balm. So sorry, this is not the bellflower. I think the bellflower is not coming back. Another daylily that I love. Love daylilies. Here's epimedium. Now we've missed the flowers on this, but this makes a really, really nice ground cover. This part of the garden gets a little shaded up here by the carport, and we've got a really nice big hosta. I think that one's Francis, or Francis Williams or Francie. It's just a plain green one, but sometimes you just need the plain green ones. I put this rock down as just kind of a ground cover. Kind of like the look of it, but man, it's heavy to move. So you can see the rest of the border there. Typical, I would say, English cottage garden border, but it's really not. It's a Kentucky border with some native plants from Kentucky and some nice exotics in there. So hopefully we'll see more things throughout the garden. Hopefully we'll come back to this in another 3 or 4 weeks and see what's there. Hopefully I've weeded it by then. Let's go on to the front of the house and I'll show you what's growing there. Now we're on the other side of the driveway into the front of the house. And again, I've got sneezeweed growing because I can't seem to pull it out. This is Fire Witch Dianthus. This one's just started blooming about a week ago. Looks pretty good. It's only been there for a year, so hopefully it'll fill in this little spot and kind of compete with the sneezeweed, or the fleabane. I keep calling it sneezeweed, it's fleabane. Back behind there, this plant actually came back from its plant. This is Verbena bonairensis. So it's Verbena, Brazilian Verbena. So it should come back from seed, but I think this one came back from a plant because we had such a long, mild winter. And these are my bottles that I use for COVID-19 light ups. So these light up at night. They're green. They've got little fairy lights in there, and they're on a timer, so hopefully people see green and feel compassion for those that we've lost through COVID-19. Got a pretty healthy dandelion weed back there, and we've got some daylilies and some iris in this bed. Little tiny bed. It used to hold, the stump was one of those dwarf Alberta spruces that totally covered the porch. And so it was great when I got packages, but it was not so good for opening up the porch and seeing what we're doing there. So we're going to cross over the porch here. And as you can see, this is all the Love in the Mist. Now, this spring I have pulled down a row of the landscape rocks, or the hedge, the edging rocks, and I've extended this bed out a little bit because I just couldn't stand to mow all this Love in the Mist down. And you can see it started getting really, really tall. It only lasts through about June, and then I need to put another plant in here to grow up in front of these boxwoods. So I I inherited two different kinds of boxwoods. These ones right here and here are Japanese, and these are just the regular other boxwoods. So I've got 4 other boxwoods out there, and that's the size of the dwarf Alberta spruces I cut down, because not only was there one on this side that I left, but if you go back, can y'all see the stump that I cut down that's in there? Yeah, that's where the other one was. So I had 2 flanking the porch, the stoop, and 1 on the other end. But I also have some pansies that I planted in there, and I've got some iris that I'm going to transplant out because I just stuck them in there because that's where I had a spot. I also have some natively growing goldenrod in there that just kind of seeded itself. It'll probably get moved or pulled. So this is the front garden. It looks pretty good right now. Put some mulch down. And you'll see I've left a couple of these bricks, or, landscape, edging rocks, because I have some snakes that I love to keep, and they like to bask underneath the rocks. That lives their home. I scared them when I moved them. But they're little gardener snakes. They really don't do a whole lot they don't bother me. They may bother the neighbors, but they do keep some of the insects down as they eat them. So we'll kind of look through here and see what we got. So that's the front yard. Hopefully you'll enjoy as we go through the seasons. I really enjoyed gardening this year. It's been a good year for us. So hopefully you'll see more of my garden in the future. Oh, by the way, I haven't pulled this weed because I'm not sure what it is. I think it's false dandelion, but I'll look it up before I let y'all know. And it's getting to be a little bit more rainy out here, so I'm going to go in and edit some video for you all.